Hey, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Writer's Bookshelf. We're going to have our second bonus episode in between seasons 1 and 2. And I've already kind of teased this one out. If you watched my last one with Great Stories Don't Write Themselves, you'll know that our book today is going to be not off my bookshelf, but actually off my computer desk. Elements of Style by Strunk and Wright. William Strunk and E.B. White. Now, if you're not familiar with this book, and I'm going to be kind of surprised if you're not, because this is a pretty famous book. The history behind it is that William Strunk, he was a professor, college professor back in the early 1900s, and he had this, was it the early 1900s? It was a long time ago. And he had this little textbook that he wrote himself called The Elements of Style. And one of his students, E.B. White, thought it was so impressive and so valuable that he wanted to publish it. And when he, of course, after he got out of college. And so they kind of collaborated, or maybe he took the estate, whatever it is. E.B. White took Professor Strunk's book and made it national and made it worldwide. And what this is this is the guide. This is like the guide for clean writing. And if you're a serious writer, and it's not just for fiction, it's actually probably less for fiction than it is for like nonfiction and textbooks and academia and essays and whatever it is, but you still certainly want to apply a lot of the rules in your fiction. But you'll notice it's very thin. It's only 100 pages, I think. Yeah, it's barely 100 pages. Like, it's 100 pages into the index. And what it does is it gives you just a list of rules. It's all it is. It's a book of rules on ways in order to improve your style. So it gives you little chapters here, the approach of style, and then it gives you examples of what to do and how to what the issue is, and then how to fix it. So, for example, in this particular section, list reminders. If you doubt that style is something of a mystery, try writing a familiar sentence and see what happens. Any much quoted sentence will do. Suppose we take "These are the times that try men's souls." Here we have 8 short, easy words forming a simple declarative sentence. The sentence contains no flashy ingredients such as "damn the torpedoes," and the words "as you see" are ordinary. Yet in that arrangement, they have shown great durability. The sentence is into its 3rd century. Now compare a few variations. So instead of using the torpedo line, we would say, "Times like these try men's souls," or "How trying it is to live in these times." Or "These are trying times for men's souls," or "Soul-wise, these are trying times." So it seems unlikely that Thomas Paine could have made his statement stick if he had couched it in any of these forms, but why not? No fault of grammar can be detected in them, and in every case, the meaning is clear. Each version is correct, and each, for some reason that we can't readily put our finger on, is marked for oblivion. We could, of course, talk about rhythm and cadence, but the talk would be vague and unconvincing. We could declare "soul-wise," that's italics, to be a silly word, inappropriate to the occasion, but even that won't do. It does not answer the main question. Are we even sure "soul-wise" is silly? If otherwise is a serviceable word, what's the matter with "soul-wise"? So you kind of get the point. If you haven't read this book, or if you're a writer, you should have it. I'm probably wasting my time even doing the video, but just in case I'm not, if you've never read this, you need to pick it up. It's one of the cheaper books. It's I had the hardcover, $15, but I think the paperback's only $8 or $9, and that's more easy to get anyway. But you'll see that he explains the grammar rule pretty well, right? And even in that particular example I just read, if you ever watch Spider-Man movies, you should know the famous line is, "With great power comes great responsibility." Well, if you've ever watched the ridiculous 2012 one with Andrew Garfield, what happened? What was one of the things they did in that movie that was so stupid? They rewrote the line, right? They took a line that was perfect and they did their own spin on it. Like, no. What they had worked. What you're doing now doesn't, because it's stupid and inflated and dumb. So that's part of what the Elements of Style is about. Is it goes back and tries to show you the different types of rules that help you write cleanly, succinctly, clearly. And that's really the message of Elements of Style: is be clear. Don't be fancy, be clear. And that's what I tell my students all the time when I read the papers and give them feedback, is when you start throwing in those $10 words, when your rest of your essay has commas in the wrong spot. No, no, stick to your level, and not only that, stick to your audience's level. That's actually more important, because you might know every word there. You might be Dennis Miller and know literally every word there is to know, and know how to use it quickly and accurately. And good for you if you can. If you're like Dennis Miller, congratulations, you're in the top 1% of vocabulary nuts. But most of us aren't there. Most of us were kind of in the middle, and so we need to write according to what we're able to wield. If you are going to play baseball, make sure you play against people who are at your level. Don't go walking into the major leagues if you've never picked up a bat before. You will get stomped. It's the same with writing. It's the same with grammar. It's the same with vocabulary. Don't get stomped by trying to wield heavy words when you don't know what they mean. And so elements of style, again, will help you with that. So that's really the point. I don't have a lot to say about it. If you have it, congratulations. You're on the right track. But if you've never taken a look at it, go ahead and do it. It's very short. You can read it in a day. Read it in a couple of days. I mean, it's still a grammar book. Grammar books aren't necessarily exciting reads, but they do try to keep it interesting enough that I think you'll get enough out of it. So it's one of those evergreen books. You probably can get it at Barnes & Noble right now. If you're watching this on your phone, you might as well be at Barnes & Noble. Go to the reference shelf; it's right there. And if for any reason you can't find it at the in the brick and mortar store, you can definitely go online. I mean, it's one of those books that's always in print, so it's easy. So just get it; it's worth it. So anyway, it's a short one today. Next week or next month, I'll bring back one more bonus episode for you. It'll be another grammar book, because again, there's not really a good place for grammar books in the writer's bookshelf sequence, because grammar is something you're going to do at the end of your writing before you finalize it. You never need to worry about grammar unless it's like really hard to read. Like if it's really bad, then fix it ahead of time. But if it's like nitpicks and things, you don't need to worry about that until you're done writing, and then you can go through and polish. So the elements of style is sort of like your last thing to do before you finalize. But it's also, at the same time, it's worth knowing it ahead of time, because you're going to always think about in terms of, do I really need to write it this way in order to communicate the impact it's got? So if you're like a slower writer, but more deliberate, more methodical, that's also fine too. C.S. Lewis, who is a brilliant thinker, is also a very terse writer. I think C.S. Lewis probably applied a lot of these rules in his books, because I would dare you to find a line that isn't both academically way up here, but also grammatically and whatnot down here. It's just thoughts that are complicated, not his writing. So that's something to consider too. Is make sure the writing is as clear as you can make it, but your ideas are still powerful. So anyway, all right. Hope that was helpful. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Ring the bell. Subscribe. Walk your dog. I don't know. It's February. Go get a Valentine. I don't have one. I'm probably won't have one when this video goes live. But if you have one, great. Enjoy. I still have my champagne from the last video, or my fake champagne. It's apple juice and wine. This is my 2020 is dead drink. So hope you had yours. So all right, come back March, whatever the first Friday in March is, and we'll do one more bonus, and then season 2 will officially begin probably third week of March, I'm thinking. I don't know exactly when, because I have to get my I have to queue up my books that I'm going to do. I've got a series I want to look at, but I have to buy them still, and there's a lot of them. But my hope is that season 2 will be the not the structure season, but the craft season, where you focus more on like characters and things. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of books that focus on the nuances. So part of my challenge for season 2 is to find books that I've read or that I have that do focus on the more minutia of writing, so that you actually have a more powerful focus on the little things. I do have a few, but I don't know that I have enough. So that's going to be my challenge, is to figure out what I've got on the shelf, or what I need to get on the shelf in order to make it a nice full season for you. But I do definitely have a season 3 is already season 3. I already know it's coming. And it's going to be really good for indies, but even traditional writers will probably want something from 3. But yeah, I got maybe, I think even the 4th season, depending on how many episodes I do. Past 4, that's where it's going to get a little dicey. But just, there's some planning for you ahead of time. But anyway, that's the future. And, if you want the past again, go back and watch season 1. A lot of good books in there. As of this recording, none of them have that many views. So, you can be the first to make it more views. I meant what I said. All right. Take care. See you next month. Or at least next month with Writer's Bookshelf. Hopefully sooner with something else. Actually, I might be doing probably be doing my course reviews by now. I'm going to be doing some course reviews in January or February. So you may have seen those. Probably should have teased those out in the last one. Too late. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.